Good morning, friends. I hope everyone is doing well. I request everyone to watch my videos in a sequence for better understanding. In this video, I want to discuss about the basics of Turing machine. Till now, we have studied about a finite automata construction, like we have discussed about how to construct a DFA, NFA, epsilon NFA. Those will be useful for us if a grammar is a regular grammar, okay, and if it is a regular language, because regular grammar will generate the regular language, and then we have constructed a finite automata for it. And then we have studied about context free grammar, which will be useful for us to generate context free language. And we have discussed about the PDA, means we have a deterministic push down automata and non-deterministic push down automata also there. Now we will study about unrestricted grammar. Already we have discussed what is an unrestricted grammar, which comes in the category called type 0 grammar in the Chomsky classification. And we will study about recursively enumerable language. Is it clear? Recursively enumerable language. And then we will discuss about the Turing machines, because when I can call it as a language as a recursively enumerable language is that for any language L, okay, if we can construct a Turing machine for it, then such language we will call it as a recursively enumerable language. For any language, if we can construct a finite automata, we call it as a regular language. Am I right or wrong? For any language, if we can construct a push down automata, we called it as context free language. Now, if a language L for which we can construct a Turing machine, such language we will call it as a recursively enumerable language. So we will discuss about what is a Turing machine. Okay. Now, even in the push down automata also, we have studied that we will have a finite control unit and we will have a input 1 and then we have a stack. Am I right or wrong? In finite automata, we don't have any memory. Am I right or wrong? The limitation of the finite automata is we don't have any memory. So that's why we went to the push down automata. We called it as a finite automata plus one stack. Am I right or wrong? Okay. Then there are some languages which we cannot call them as a context free language. Okay. Such language is A power n, B power n, C power n, where n is greater than or equal to 1. Using pumping lemma, we proved that it is not a context free language. If it is not a context free language, we cannot construct a push down automata. Is it clear? So we have a context sensitive language and we have a context free context sensitive grammar. See, we have discussed about context free grammar. Context sensitive grammar is there and context sensitive language is there, and we can construct the linear bounded automata. First, let me discuss about the Turing machine, then we will go for the linear bounded automata. There are lot of similarities are there between the Turing machines and linear bounded automata. So let me discuss about the Turing machine, then I will teach you about the linear bounded automata so that you will understand the concept in a better way. So if this is a language, for this kind of language we cannot construct the push down automata. So now what I will do is that we have a limitation. So what we have done is that they have gone for the Turing machines. So Turing machines will have a finite control unit and we will have a tape. Okay, we will call this as a tape, and even if it is a tape, you will have a tape head. Okay, tape head is used to read the particular symbol which is located here. Suppose if tape head is located here, either you can read the content or you can write the content. Okay, and suppose if your input is like the tape symbols are A B something is there, and before that and after that you will have a blank symbols. So representing means that this is a blank one, means this is does not consist of any value, whereas here you have an alphabets A B. Okay, so after that you will have a blanks, and before that also you will have some blank. Is it clear? So blanks we can represent as a B or any symbol. Okay. Now let me discuss about what are the operations I can perform on a tape. First thing, I can perform read or scan a symbol in a tape. Okay, now if tape head is here, I can read the element which is there on the tape head. Okay, so A I can read. Our second operation I can perform is write or update a symbol in the tape, means I can read it or I can modify the content also. Move the tape head 1 unit left or right. Is it clear? Move the tape head 1 unit left or right, means you can move towards the left or you can move to the right, but 1 unit at a time, means if your tape head is here, either you can move here or you can move here at a one time. After that, suppose if it came here, then in the next iteration you can move here, like that. At a one means at a time you can move 1 unit either left or right. So I hope you have understood the basics of Turing machine. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask it in the comment section. In the next video, we will discuss about the representation of a Turing machine. Thank you so much for watching my video. Have a nice day.